Okay. What? Oh, cat, turn it. Hey, I did not see you sneak in there. Howdy, how are you? Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. It is 73 degrees here, and let's see what day is today. Yeah, it'll be probably December 6th when you view this. But yeah, 73 degrees and 100% chance of gross down here in Texas. Really humid. It says relative humidity is 85% in the shop, and it's 73 degrees. It's just absolutely disgusting. So anyway, hopefully tomorrow we're gonna have a cold front blow through, and then everything will start to feel a little bit more like what it's supposed to. So, let's see. So this is going to be kind of y'all know, I have no plan when I do these things. I just kind of go along as I do. So this past weekend we went to Wimberly, Texas, and picked up a couple of items out there. One that's actually really great, and well, actually they're both really great. So let me show them to you. So the first really great thing here that I got is this. So you might recognize this as looking an awful lot like the other quick light that I've got here, and it's in a little bit different shape, but this particular vendor was selling this at half off, so it was marked at 25 bucks, so it went for $12, and this is going to be an excellent parts lantern for this other quick light here, because I do not think it has the same problem that we discussed before, which is that how someone had basically soldered this inside of the, and it's not straight and whatever. So, and also the fount, even after shaking a bunch of stuff out, still has got a lot of trub in it. So anyway, so that's that. But this one here, the burner assembly is kind of a bit screwed up. As you know, these burner valves they're one piece and it's molded, and once that valve knob is gone, it's pretty much shot. So someone at some point had knocked the valve knob off, but that's okay, because we have this. This one is missing burner tubes, but that's okay because I have a whole nother burner with both tubes. I haven't completely unloosened this one yet, although it is starting to move, so that'll come apart. So basically, between these two lanterns here, we'll be able to get a working one. So that part is pretty cool. So I'm excited about that. Also, the bottom of this one looks really nice, and I think also the nickel on this will shine up really well too. So I think even though this is kind of a bit kind of mangled-jangled, there's still definitely some good usable parts on it, and between these two here we should come up with a great working floor lamp. And yeah, if I was ever able to find another valve stem like this, or I don't know, who knows, I might actually try 3D printing something that I can fuse onto here. But at any rate, that is kind of what's going on with this. So this will be the donor, or the other one's the donor, or whatever it is. So we end up with that floor lamp that we've been talking about. So that's that one. The other that we picked up, this is actually from Gruene, Texas, and this is a Coleman Milspec, so a 252. This one has the quadrant glass in it, so each one of these are separate pieces of glass. This one has the fuel funnel, the cap, the parts storage area here. There's, throw it off. Has got the wrench and the parts inside, so it's pretty much complete. It has definitely been used, so that's fine. The other cool thing about this is that this is not one of these SMC or whatever ones. This is actually a Coleman. So this is Coleman, and it is made as of September 1975. Oh no, it's just 1975 on the bottom of this one. So this one is in really, really nice shape. There's like one ding on the, right here, the porcelain, and that's kind of it. It is missing a knob, but that's not the end of the world for sure, because I've got additional knobs here in my little magic parts bin, and they're of course findable. So what I'm going to do is show you what else came with this, and that is 2 generators. So I had no problem telling people what I paid for this. So this I paid 48 bucks walk out the door, and it had the 2 generators in it. Now each one of these generators are worth like $11 off of old Coleman parts, plus the shipping that'll probably cost you, I think, $5 or $6 to get it shipped to you. So that's $22. So basically, to get these 2 generators, you're looking at close to $30, and I paid 48 for the lantern. So if I look at it that way, it's $18 for the lantern. So that I thought was not too bad. But yeah, the quadrant glass is pretty cool because if any one particular piece breaks, you just pull out that quadrant, and then you just go ahead and slip another one in there, and you're good to go. So and from my previous buyout of another collector, I actually got a bunch of these, and these are the actual quadrant globe replacements. So I wasn't even worried if any of these were broken because I have brand new in the box quadrant globe replacement pieces. So yeah, I'm kind of set for life on that. So, and then I've also got a couple other generators. So I am Mil-Spec to the teeth. So I thought what we would do with this one here, while we're sitting here, is see if we can't get it running. The only thing I have done with this one when I bought it is that I put a little bit of oil on the leather because I knew it should probably soak for a little bit. And so as it is right now, yep, it holds pressure for sure. So it is definitely, the pump is definitely working, so that's pretty cool. It obviously needs a mantle on there, so we'll tie one of those on. I haven't tried the knob yet, so let me go to the Magic Parts box, and hopefully I've got one sitting right here up on top, which I think I should. Yep, here's one here, a directional disc. You could use a screw to hold that in, that would be pretty great. I don't know if that's in here. But even if we don't have the screw to hold it in, we can at least see if this will work. So that fits right on there. And yeah, it opens right up. A little bit of a snap. It was actually open already. So that's fine. This will be just fine. So now, I don't think there's a, I don't think, is that the right screw? Whoops. I don't think that's it. I think that is the wrong one. I think this is the right one. Yep, that's it. So, I think this is really kind of great because here we've got a lantern that's been sitting probably in someone's garage for quite a while and has not gotten any use because it didn't have a knob. And so it just sat there until someone decided that, well, maybe we should move on this old lantern and see what we can get for it. Isn't this ridiculous? December 6th and I'm sweating up a storm here. It's just crazy. So there's a little bit of stuff in the back here I'm going to kind of wipe off a bit. So yeah, let me just make sure that I do have indeed the right screw. I'm pretty sure this is it. Yep, goes right in. So get that started in there. Finish off with this. So yeah, we go from, in a matter of moments, from a lantern that basically was not usable to one that is complete and ready to use. So next step for me is I'm going to tie on a mantle on here. Might be a little bit more challenging. I think I'll take out a few more of these quadrants just to be able to get some room. And let's see. I don't want these. I don't think I want these. I don't want that. 250 candle power peerless. That's what we want. So 21A for the rest of the world. I actually do have. Do I have them right here? I thought I had. Yeah, these were actually the ones I think that came with the. Was that it? No. I had some other ones here that came with the military ones that I've got, and yeah, I bet you it's in this drawer right here. Yeah. So these are the actual Mil-Spec Mantles, and so when you open these up, you see this Sunflame nitrile treated rayon mantle, 200 candle power. So anyway, that's what well, that's, yeah, they look like. So they're nitrile. It means that it'll just ignite super fast, much like the Aladdin lamps do. The ones that are the mantle lamps that is nitrile treated, so it's very quick to burn off. But I'm not going to use one of those. I don't think I have any of these that are open. If I've got one that's open, I might use one. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's one sitting right on top that's open. But you know what? These are kind of nice because they're the real coarse weave, and I don't want to test with a good mantle. So let me test with a mantle that's easily replaceable and won't make me feel bad if I wreck it. Maybe what I should do, even before I do that, is get some fuel in it and pressure test it and ignite it and see what happens with that. So let's try that, because otherwise we'll just be blowing up mantles for no good reason. Some of you probably already thought of this. You're like, dude, aren't you going to try to see if it'll work before you do that? Yes, I am. Thank you. So let me get this funnel a little bit. I don't know why this is finding me here. Okay. All right. So we got some fuel here. Probably what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour it off into another container. Oh, that one's not clean. This one was clean. I like to pour it into here, especially when it's new, or when you're, because this is the first time I'm opening this container of fuel. I like to pour them off into here because it just makes it a whole lot easier to get in there. And I've shown this before, but the correct way to pour out of a new container of fuel is not like this, and it's not like this. It's actually like this, with the nozzle up on the highest part. It doesn't seem like it's going to work, but it actually works extremely well with no glugging and no sloshing and no spillage. So keep that in mind for basically anything that comes in a gallon can like that. You can just do it just like that, and it makes it really easy to fill. Okay. First splash of fuel to hit that tank, and I don't know how long, but that should be enough. That's like 200 mils of fuel in there. That ought to do it. Again, still sweating. Really can't wait for that cold front tomorrow. It's supposed to be getting down into the 40s tomorrow, but today it's terrible. It really is. There's no other word for it. The fuel cap gasket seems to be in pretty good shape, so I'm not going to replace that. It still feels like it has some spring to it. It could probably stand to be replaced, but I'm not going to spend my time on that. Let's put a few pumps in here and see what we get. We don't get anything. Nothing. Okay. Not surprising. So I'm gonna get all this stuff out of the way here, and then I'm going to see if I can't get my wrench in here. Is this one gonna fit it? Yeah, this one is. There's a lot of gumminess on there. Let's see. Probably I think that's a 9/16. Maybe it's a 1/2 inch. I don't know. Let's see what we got. Yeah. Well. yeah, there's a lot of buildup on this thing because I don't think the 5/8 is going to work. It's going to be too big. I know that I can use the tool wrench that comes with it, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work because it may booger it up. So I'll try this here. See what we can do to get the adjust-o-matic to work for us. Oh, that comes off super easy. I could almost undone that with my fingers. So so here's the way to see how these things work. I'm gonna launch some fuel out. Probably should have a rag handy so I don't spray the entire universe down. Okay, so fuel and air definitely want to come out of there, so that's good. This generator I think is, well, that tastes wonderful. This is probably needs to be cleaned. Now these wrenches come with a cleaning needle in them, so which is this thing right here. Yeah, you can't see it, but trust me, it's there. And then you can use that to clean out the orifice on these things. And also what I kind of like to do is, well, we'll work it. And the thing about this is it's so hard to find the actual hole. Okay, so the nozzle is completely unblocked, so that's great. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to take off the gas tip on here, fold this back so it doesn't get damaged. Which it nicely fits underneath a little cover so you don't break the needle. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this gas tip. And then I'm going to flush this with some fuel. I'm just going to put this in this one for right now. And the way that you can do this is that you can put these generators on, cocked off to the side like this. And that way you can run a bunch of fuel through it and see if everything's working like it's supposed to. So that's in the past what I've done is just kind of set them off to the side and flush it out. What's inside is a fiberglass packing. Here we go. Got anything coming? Nothing. So this packing inside here must be completely gummed up because we're definitely getting fuel flow out of the valve, and we definitely will just make sure we got pressure in the tank still. Crank that open, and yeah, we've got no evidence of any fuel wanting to flow through that whatsoever. So this tells me that the generator is plugged. Okay, no problem. We can deal with that. We just have multiple generators here, so it's not a big deal to swap that out. Because when we open this here, we can see fuel absolutely rockets out of there. So this could probably be solved with soaking some like brake cleaner or carb cleaner through it, which I may try squirting a little bit of this in here. And leave it kind of standing up so it can kind of start soaking through that. But in the meantime, what we'll do is we have another generator here that's ready to go, and you can see some of that fiberglass packing sticking out there. I'm going to kind of try to push that in some so it does not interfere with the way that this seals. Whatever you do, do not take this stuff out because it'll be very, very hard to get back in there. This is a little bit long, so I'm just going to kind of trim this off. I just don't want to have some stray fiberglass fibers interfere with the sealing of the flange here. So you do have to reuse the nut. So do that. Put this back up here. Slide the nut back on, and then mount the generator. See, now aren't we happy that we tested this without putting a new mantle on there? We would have been in big trouble. So snug this down a little bit more. It's probably good. Oops. Doesn't feel quite seated. That does. So now let's see what happens. Yeah, I can hear it. Turn it around so when it actually does make it up there, you can see it. These have some of the smallest orifices that Coleman ever made for a generator, and as a result, filling this whole generator up with fuel takes a long time. And so especially when it's new and that is all basically soaking up, all of the packing is soaking up fuel and everything else like that, it can take, there she goes. So let's turn this off so we stop spraying fuel all over everything. So that's good. I got a bit of a leak down here that tells me I didn't get it quite tight enough. So we will take a look again at what our sealing flange looks like. It's a little grubby, but not bad. Kind of wipe that off some. And see, that's just the thing here, is that I have a feeling that some of this fiberglass in here, since it's so long like this, is kind of interfering with the sealing. So I'm just kind of walking the wire cutters around to try to remove that, and trying not to accidentally pull more of it out. And maybe I can just take this here and try to shove it back down in there. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now the packing is not interfering with that flange. So we will stick this through the hole up top while we try to simultaneously get this thing flanged up down below. Feels like a much more positive seat than it was before. Now we'll see if we get some fire out of it. Yep, we sure do. Kind of a little bit anemic, but that's okay. We're gonna stop this because I know it'll go. That's the other thing about the function of this fiberglass that runs through there. It basically acts like a fuel filter. You'll notice that the funnel doesn't have any filter in it whatsoever. These generators were designed to be used and then tossed and not refurbished or anything like that. So that's why they're like that. Blow that out so it doesn't get too hot. Grab a mantle here and get to mantling. These are slightly more fiddly just because it just seems with this big horseshoe looking loop in here, there's not as much clearance, and so gonna kind of, it's a little bit more challenging, I think, than your normal one, even though all the quadrants are out. is still kind of a pain in the butt. So there we go. So start sliding this mantle around to the other side, because they always want to bunch up really hard on the front side. Oops, make sure I didn't just disconnect the audio. Oh, we're good. Stepped on my leash there. Yeah, this is kind of fighting me today, trying to get this the rest of this mantle kind of distributed around here. That looks pretty good. Tie another overhand knot in here, and then we will spin it around to have the flat side towards the mantle. Okay, that's good. Spin, like I said. There we go. Okay, now for the burning of the mantle. Yay! Got my fan blowing from the back here, so I guess that's pretty good because it blows the smoke away from me. So we'll kind of let that go for a bit. I think I can put these other bits and pieces and tools and stuff in here. Yeah, this is the replacement pump leather in here that's wrapped up in like a wax paper. So that's what this is. Show you that. So this will get wrapped up in there. Oops, I probably should put this in there first and then this. Okay, probably ready to light. Let's see what happens. Put some of these back in. Not getting really super duper pressure here, so I think maybe our gaskets may be worse off than we thought, huh? Let's see what happens when I start putting the beans to it here. All right, well, we're not getting a whole lot of excitement, are we? Oh, wait. Things are starting to happen. I think we're getting enough pressure. Burning very yellow, though, but the interesting thing is that when I, oh, I probably can open this all the way up now for sure. When I lit the, yeah, and there is what the Mil-Specs love to do is throw liquid fuel on you, which is awesome. Oh, and then it looks like it kind of plugged too. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know how much joy we're going to have on this one because yeah, it just plugged in the nozzle, so that means I got to pull it all apart again. And it's very obvious that I got a bit of a fuel leak here because we've got this going on, which we don't want to have. So I'll just shut that off. So anyway, the idea of having a perfect light up, maybe not so achievable, but that's okay. Got something else to kind of look at next time. But this is not a big deal. Probably what I'll take a look at is making sure that the burner tubes are not occluded. But like I was saying, when I lit the mantle, I saw smoke pouring out of both burner tubes, which is unusual because usually one of these are blocked. So a little bit strange, but that shouldn't give us any kind of problem with a yellow flame like that. I think maybe our cap gasket probably could stand to be replaced. Let's see if it's holding pressure. Yeah, it's holding pressure. So it may have just sucked up some stuff inside. Admittedly, I just threw fuel in there and then and let it rip. Like I said, usually what you get is that the packing filters all the fuel, so you don't have problems like that. But yeah, it's just gonna sit there and burn for a while, and it's probably gonna sit up the mantle, but eventually it'll stop. So anyway, I think that's about as far as I'm going to take it for this time around. But anyway, that's the deal on this one. You know, really in really nice shape. Just a little bit of extra work we have to do with this to get it so it stops misbehaving like this, and then we'll be in good shape. I have no. It's finally getting preheated enough. There's no pressure in the tank, so that's just fuel and stuff that's burning out of the generator. It's kind of interesting. So the generator's blocked here, so as it heats up, it's actually forcing more down through there. So I may have to do a little bit of cleanup on the flange phases and stuff like that. So anyway, that is the story here. We'll see how we go through the holidays here. We might have less frequent updates. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, in the meantime, keep them lit.